up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Grind Season 4, Episode 17. My name's Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
And today is our last show. We didn't think that we would ever get to the last show, but time flies. It's been 4 years and 4 seasons. This is the 68th show. That's a lot of shows and a lot of seasons, so again, we got to keep things going as playoffs are getting closer and closer to the end. We have the conference finals for both sides, West and East for NHL and NBA, and of course, to start it off, MLB. So let's start talking about the MLB first. Mets defeated the Rays 3-2 in the Big Apple. The man to watch for the Mets is Pete Alonso. I feel like this guy right now is the only guy on the Mets that's really helping them in a crucial way. I mean, having one home run, not 2 home runs, but just 1 home run is still something to have for their team. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, Pete Alonso has been red hot. He's leading the MLB in home runs with 16 right now. He's definitely been the big bopper in the Mets lineup. And really, as you said, he's been the only one that's really contributed. We've had a lot of struggles in the lineup. They've brought up some young players to help, like Mark Vientos and Francisco Alvarez. They've helped the team a little bit, but it's been Alonso who's keeping the team afloat on the offensive end.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, not only Pete Alonso, but Josh Lau for the Rays. I mean, yes, you would look at the Rays and look at Randy Arozarena and all these other players like Wander Franco, but Josh Lau, he's young. I mean, this guy can do a lot. He had 2 runs, 2 hits, and an RBI, so that's fun to see. The Mets right now are 22-23. And we're going to get into the record in a bit, but also about the Rays, they're 32-13, the best record in baseball right now. But let's not talk about the Rays. Let's talk about the Mets here. Yes, they're having bad series. They're getting swept in a lot of series. But, I mean, it's certainly not the Mets that you had last season. But if you look at it, at least they can get wins. I mean, they're not completely falling off. I mean, yes, they have more losses than wins, but at least they're under 1 more win. You know, 1 more win will get them 23-23. So, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, the Mets have been really struggling recently, although they did win against the series against the Rays. So that's a huge step in the right direction.
And it's shocking that they would win against the Rays, you know?
Yeah, very shocking. But you know what? They needed that win because before that they were struggling big time.
Yep.
Lost in series against the Nationals, the Reds, the Rockies, the Tigers. They needed this series win in a big way, and hopefully Pete Alonso can continue his hitting, and other Mets players can step up. I mean, we've seen some young players, as I mentioned earlier, in Vientos and Beatty and Alvarez, but they need guys like Starling Marte and Francisco Lindor and Nimmo to continue to hit as he's been to really strengthen the lineup.
And you got Gary Sanchez, who is in Syracuse right now, that I apparently got told that he got called up.
Yes,
so
he did get called up.
Hopefully he can show up, because Gary Sanchez, I just feel like he's very, he's not good. You know, I just feel like, yes, he was in the Giants farm system. He didn't do anything in the Giants farm system. Struck out all the time. Yankees, he was okay, but hopefully this will be his time to come back and show everyone what player he truly is, especially to the Mets.
Definitely.
So the Rays are first in the AL East. As for the Mets, look, people talk too down on the Mets, and I feel like you have to look at the positives here. They're still third in the NL. They still can catch up to second place. Do you think they will catch up?
They need to win games, so I don't know. I mean, they could, but they got to start winning games like now, because if they don't, then I'm not so sure.
I mean, you got that Guardians matchup that they're going to be going up against. But, I mean, sweeping the Rays, that would give them confidence maybe when they they're staying home when they play the Guardians, so maybe it's that home advantage right there.
Yeah,
that will help
definitely.
them. So the last question I have about the Mets and for Mickey is Polar Bear Pete the only hope for the Mets right now? I mean, he's the only guy to really put a lot of runs on the board.
Well, I mean, he needs to continue to hit, because if he doesn't, oh boy, they're not going to, get up in the standings like you said. So I don't think he's the only hope. I think their pitching needs to be better too, but Pete is a big part of their lineup.
He's a big guy. I mean, first baseman too. You really need him to go far. So as we're now going to shift over to St. Louis, Dodgers took the L facing the Cardinals 16-8. Man of the game was Freddie Freeman. This guy had a grand slam, and this grand slam was not only just a grand slam, it was his 300th career home run. And having it be a grand slam is awesome to have. A lot of Dodger fans and Dodger players working with him were so happy to see that. They still lost by quite a lot, but I don't think that's really something that's a loss to really have a deficit on the Dodgers. They can definitely bounce back. I mean, yes, they have that. They're facing Cardinals in St. Louis, so you got that kind of hard for you to do. Thoughts on the Dodger relief? I think the Dodger relief is actually not that bad. I think they're actually showing up. Andre Jackson, who got called up from OKC to LA, he is showing up. He had 4 strikeouts in just the relief in just 2 innings, 4 strikeouts. Phil Bickford finally able to get some strikeouts on the board. Last season and seasons before, Phil Bickford wasn't able to do anything for the Dodgers. So seeing them finally step up and actually do their part in the relief is actually really good to have. As for Yency Almonte, I feel like there's still work for him to be done. But yeah, Urias got rocked last night though, only having 1 strikeout. So I think the Dodgers relief is good. Definitely got to work on your starting rotation now.
Yeah.
And a question for you that I have, and this is a good question, is Adam Wainwright for the Cardinals, is he washed?
Sorry to say, but I think he is. Here's the reason why. He's old. Yep. He's nearing 40 years old. I'm not sure how much he still has left in the tank. He's been kind of iffy before then. So, I don't know. I just don't think he has a lot left. But he's not the only part of the problems with the Cardinals pitching. Their starting pitching has been dreadful all year. Jordan Montgomery has been bad. Jack Flaherty has been bad. Miles Michaelis has been bad. It's been the whole team. And they need somebody to step up and emerge from the pack and become a stud pitcher for the Cardinals.
Call guys up. I mean, you got Springfield. You got guys that are ready to step on the mound. I mean, Springfield is waiting to be putting guys on the mound.
Yeah.
Here you are relying on Wainwright, who is not doing good at all. I mean, let's look at it. Both sides of it. They both gave up a lot of runs. Clearly, it wasn't Urias' day, nor was it Wainwright's day, but we don't really see a lot from Adam Wainwright. He's been on the Cardinals for a long time now. I mean, he's one of the oldest pitchers right now in the league. So, we now take over to NHL playoffs. Things are getting hot over there. Panthers won in 4 overtimes. 4 overtimes. I was in bed, got a notification, checked it. Panthers just won. They beat the Carolina Hurricanes, and I was like, I thought this game ended at least an hour or 2 ago, but 4 overtimes. They really were aggressive on the ice. This is probably one of the greatest playoff games that we have seen. This has only happened 6 times in NHL history where they would go into 4 overtimes. So that was kind of crazy. I think the defense on both sides was crazy. I think these 2 teams are like I thought the Devils facing the Canes would be a good series, but I take it back. Panthers right now are on top right now. So yeah, the Hurricanes losing that game, I don't think it's, I mean, they're only down by 1 in the series. They can definitely, come back and tie up the series. But I feel like the Panthers, I'm going to be honest here, I think the Panthers are going to beat the Hurricanes. I think the Panthers are going to beat the Hurricanes going forward in this series because, think about it, the Panthers took down the Bruins, who had the best record in the NHL. Beating the Bruins probably gave them so much confidence. Winning in Carolina in 4 overtimes, I mean, I think the Panthers really have this in the bag with going forward and winning and going to the Stanley Cup. Goalies were Frederik Andersen. He had 57 saves. And as for Sergei Bobrovsky, he had 63 saves. Both of these goalies are one of the greatest in the Eastern Conference. It's still looking really good right now. I feel like the Panthers are gonna win in Game 6. They're gonna take it in Game 6. Canes are gonna even up the series next game, but it's gonna be all Florida from there. The players to look out for the Canes: Brent Burns, Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis. Seth Jarvis, he's been on the team for quite a while now. He's doing phenomenal for the Canes. As for the Panthers, it's Alexander Volkov, Anthony Duclair, and Matthew Tkachuk. Now, Duclair, this guy was really hot on the ice, really good in the first, second period, but kind of let it get the best of him going into the third and into overtime. I mean, that's just a lot of playing time. I mean, going into 4 overtimes, someone's going to get tired eventually, and it was surely the Hurricanes as they lost 3-2. So we now head on to the Stars Golden Knights series. Series is starting tonight. They didn't play yet. This is going to be another good playoff matchup. I don't think it's going to be as good as the Panthers-Hurricanes series, but Stars Golden Knights is something to definitely look out for. I think Golden Knights are going to take it tonight because it's going to be in Vegas. But I feel like, I don't know. I don't really know who's going to really win this matchup, but I got Golden Knights because the Dallas Stars choke in every single playoffs. We've seen it seasons back, and now here we are seeing them again in the playoffs where they could possibly lose that conference final yet again. So we now head on to the NBA playoffs from last night. I mean, this is huge. This is huge. He owned the Celtics 123-116. Miami is now up by 1, sadly, but no one's stopping Jimmy Butler right now. I mean, this guy is definitely the hottest guy right now on the court and in the entire playoffs right now. Man of the game was him. He had 35 points last night, 5 rebounds and 7 assists. I mean, you got to stop this guy in the paint. I mean, you need a double team, triple team him. You need to look out for him outside the perimeter. You got to look out for him for inside the paint because he is fast and his agility is what's putting the points on the board. How do you think the Celtics can stop this?
They need to double team Jimmy Butler. And it's not easy to do because Jimmy Butler is one of the best players in the league, but honestly, you need to stop him. But one of the problems is with the Heat is that they have other options too. I mean, they have Bam Adebayo, who killed the Knicks in the last series, and he did really well against the Celtics. They have other shooters that they can kick out to. I mean, Kevin Love, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent. They got tons of players like that can kick out to on the perimeter to hit some shots. It's not going to be easy to stop this Heat team, considering that they took down the Bucks, and then they took down the Knicks, and now they have set the tone against the Celtics. It's going to be very difficult for the Celtics to get back in this series.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to be hard. Winning, and also, dude, what? Like, it's upsetting to me because, yes, it's not only the first game that they just lose. I mean, the Heat right now, having won up the Celtics, is going to give them complete confidence heading forward. But not only that, but winning in Boston. We now know Jimmy Butler can cook in Boston, whether it's home or away. So not only that, but now we got to take it to Miami 2 games from now, and we got to really show up because Jimmy Butler is the best he has ever when it comes to being in Miami. Now, what costed the Celtics in the second half? I think the first half, the Celtics were up by the Heat. They were actually winning until the second half came along, and they lost it. What do you think happened?
Jason Tatum didn't play well enough. Let's be honest. He did not have a great game in the whole game. And honestly, as Jason Tatum goes, the Celtics go. And he struggled. And other players struggled as well. I mean, they had some decent performances from Al Horford, but...
No, we didn't. Al Horford had 7 points.
He was decent.
No, he wasn't.
He was all right. I mean, and Jaylen Brown was all right, but no one else on the team really stepped up and helped out Jason Tatum when he was struggling. So really... Honestly, they need better performances.
Let's talk about who's bad on the Celtics, all right? Because I'll be honest with you, Jason Tatum, he's not only the only guy to do good on the court. I mean, you got Robert Williams, who is the tallest guy in the paint right now. He is putting most of the points on their board, and this guy's not even looked at as much as Al Horford and people like Jaylen Brown. But let's look at Al Horford, though. Can we please stop him from shooting three-pointers? Like, it's annoying me. You can't cook every time you shoot a three-pointer. I get it, you're tall. You got small defenders on you. Shoot it. But not every time. We're relying on him, like keep him in the paint, work with him a little bit. I just feel like half his three-pointers aren't even going in. I mean, it's just like lobs at this point. And as for Marcus Smart, can we just bench this guy? I like Marcus Smart a lot, one of my favorite Celtic players, but can we just bench him? If things are really going to get serious, we need to bench Marcus Smart. This guy does not know how to shoot a free throw, doesn't even know how to shoot a jump shot. This guy doesn't know how to pass the ball. He's not good at all. Keep him on the bench. Peyton Pritchard, who is on the bench, can do way better than him, and I don't know why he isn't in the lineup, you know?
Yeah, I definitely get that. He's struggling right now, and honestly, in a big series...
There's better options on the bench.
In a big series like this, you need your best players who are playing to play, and they might not be high profile, but if they're better, they need to play.
Yeah, I mean, Peyton Pritchard, I mean, when was the last time you saw Peyton Pritchard play?
Like I don't know, like a
couple games before. Yeah, like put him in the game, you know? I mean, I get he's small, but he's fast. So, thoughts on the series going forward. What do you think?
I actually predicted that the Celtics were going to win, but
you can't take that. But no, you can't take it back.
I'm not taking it back, but I'm less sure than I was before. And here's why. I just think that it's the Heat's year. They were put in a disadvantageous spot by being in the 8th seed, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they took down the number 1 seed Bucks. They took down the number 4 seeded Knicks. They took down. They're on their way to take down the Celtics right now, which honestly is the best team left in this conference. Because Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo are playing well, and their shooters are hitting shots. They need Tatum to step up. And if Tatum doesn't step up, they're going to lose. But I still think the Celtics are going to win because they've just been better the whole year.
And I agree. And they've done it last year. And why can't they do it this year? But I feel like I really agree with you on here. I think that Boston, when they play one more time in Boston, they're going to win. The moment they take it to Miami's going to win. Miami's going to win every single home game, I feel like. I feel like in Boston, from this point on, Celtics are going to win. So I feel like the Celtics are going to win at least 2 of the 2 games this series. But other than that, I think the Heat are going to win. I mean, I'm sorry to say. Jimmy Butler taking down the Bucks, you know, it's been and the Knicks, who have R.J. Barrett and all those key players. But it's just it's really hard. So Nuggets down the Lakers 108 to 103. Man of the game was Jamal Murray. He had 37 points, 5 assists, and 10 rebounds. Key players for the Nuggets is Jamal Murray. This guy cooked last night.
He's been great in the playoffs.
He's underrated.
Yeah, he's been great in the playoffs. If you remember the bubble, he was really, really, really good. He was scoring 40, 50 points a night. Absolutely scoring, cooking everyone up. But then, unfortunately, he got hurt with the ACL, and it kind of sidetracked him. But now he's healthy. He's back. He's cooking in the playoffs again. He's been great. And also, other players as well for the Nuggets have been doing well.
Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic, of course. Jokic, this guy is tall. One of the tallest guys in the playoffs right now.
I'm going to say it. Nikola Jokic is the best player in the basketball right now. He's dominating. Yeah. I mean, he had a game where he had 37 points, 21 rebounds, and 14 assists.
He's just tall.
It's insane.
He's just tall.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's tall, and when you got a guy in the paint who is tall, who can just dunk on all these guys, I mean, literally AD is tall. I mean, actually, AD and him is kind of a good competition, but AD gets hurt all the time. He can't even stand on his own legs, and honestly, seeing Jokic, dunk and seeing the way he performs with the layups and everything, it's a scary guy right there. The Joker, they call him.
Yep.
So, as for the Lakers, it's LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura. Austin Reeves right now. I mean, come on, look at this guy. He's a young guy who has never even stepped foot in the playoffs, and the dude's acting like he's been in the playoffs for years. What's up with this?
Yeah, I mean, Austin Reeves has been very impressive. Obviously, he's in a big spot because he's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. He was an undrafted guy out of Oklahoma. No one really believed in him, but the Lakers actually, empowered him, and he's really stepped up, and he's scoring. He's dishing the ball. He's getting some tough rebounds. He's hard-minded. He's a great player to play with LeBron and AD when he's healthy. But obviously, I just think that with the totality of the Lakers team and compared to the totality of the Nuggets team, I think just right now I'd rather have Jokic and Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. versus LeBron, Reeves, Hachimura, and Davis when he's healthy.
I think they're going to re-sign Austin Reeves. I don't think he's going to go
I would hope.
Yeah.
You can't let that guy leave.
I mean, you got guys that are probably going to be retiring from the Lakers after this year. I mean, LeBron might be staying another couple more years, but there's some guys that are very old. I mean, it's a veteran team the Lakers have. You want a young guy like Austin Reeves to really learn off these guys. We see LeBron James and Austin Reeves working together. Their chemistry, they've only been on the team together for 1 year, and they know each other like they've been on the same team for years. So thoughts on the series going forward, Nuggets are going to take it. I mean, they're already up 2-0.
I agree. Yeah. Nuggets are going to take it.
I think Lakers are going to win one game in L.A., and then that's it.
Yep.
So it's going to be a 4-1 series. That's going to wrap it up for that. We aren't done yet. We are not done yet. We're going to talk about before we tell our final message on the show, we want to talk about why we like the teams that we like. And this is going to be a little controversial, but it'll be fun. So before I go, Mickey, let's start off with baseball. Why are you a Mets fan?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm going to combine all three of my teams because they're all kind of the same answer. We got the New York Mets on baseball, the New York Jets on football, and the New York Knicks on basketball.
Why not Nets? It's going to all rhyme if you say Nets.
I know, but
it's all going to make sense.
We'll just stick with what we got. But
I can't see Mickey being a Nets fan,
So the reason why I'm a fan of all those teams is because, like a lot of people, my father is a fan of those teams. So, growing up, I was a fan of those teams, so I'm currently a fan of those teams. I'm not really into, picking my own teams. I just wasn't like that. But for me, I kind of just stuck with the family.
I respect it. I respect it. So
what about you?
For baseball, all right, I'm going to come out on this and say I used to be a Yankee fan. I was a Yankee fan when we started the show. I was a Yankee fan when we started the show until the Dodgers won the World Series, and then I realized, you know what, I like the Dodgers. I like LA. I've done a Dodger tour before. I've been on the field. I just feel like the whole fan base, the chemistry that they have.
Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw is one of my favorite players of all time. He is what makes me like the Dodgers. And not only that, but if you were to put Clayton Kershaw and face him against the Yankees, who am I really going to vote for? Obviously Kershaw and the Dodgers. So that's going to make me a Dodger fan, and that is why I like the Los Angeles Dodgers. So for basketball, Knicks. Why do you like the Knicks?
I mean, it's all the same. I just followed my
So it's because
my family.
You live near New York.
Yeah,
and that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's Celtics. I live near Massachusetts. I live in Massachusetts, and I want to be a Celtic fan. I've been a Celtic fan longer than any other team that I like. It's just, and dude, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, those were fun teams. I mean, I actually had a jersey of Rajon Rondo when I was in elementary school. I mean, the teams with Rondo, Ray Allen.
I hated when they traded Rondo. I don't know why they traded Rondo.
Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, like those teams were awesome.
Oh yeah, I missed it when they had Isaiah Thomas. Because I was going, the first Celtic game I've ever been to was when they had Isaiah Thomas on the team. When I was like the prime Celtics in my time was Isaiah Thomas.
And Jay Crowder was on that team.
Jay Crowder, Jared Sullinger, you got all those guys.
Yeah.
Avery Bradley, and Jeff Green, of course, who is now on the Nuggets, who was not doing anything, had 2 points last night. Jeff Green is actually my favorite basketball player. It's kind of funny. Because you never see that guy on the court nowadays. And as for hockey, I'm a Ranger fan because I live near New York.
Yeah, and I'm not a hockey fan,
so I like the Rangers. That's why he doesn't really say a lot on the NHL stuff. And then for Rangers, I like. So, if there's one last thing.
Saints.
Football.
You like the Saints.
No, you're gonna go first. Why do you like the? Oh yeah, he's gonna give us the same answer every single time.
That's kind of why I combined it.
That's fine. That's fair. That's fair. I like the Saints, it's kind of funny. I take you way back to when I was 6 years old. I was 6 years old, and I was watching the year I liked the Saints was the year they won their first Super Bowl. And so I like the Saints because of their logo. I like the logo of it. I don't know. I like the logo. And so from that point on, from when I was 6, I like the logo. And ever since then, I've gotten used to seeing Drew Brees, Marquise Colston. I just got used to watching the team all the time. And I watched the chemistry build between both those guys. And ever since then, I've been a Saints fan. And matter of fact, the Saints are one of my favorite teams of all time. Saints, #1 favorite team. And even when in their hardships these last couple seasons, I'll always like the Saints. I'd never even been to New Orleans, but I love the Saints. Giro Saints.
Great.
So, final message now for the show. Again, we said it in the beginning, 4 seasons, 4 years, 68th episode. I didn't think that this time would be coming, but hey, we all got things to do,
Our boy Tyler is going to Arizona.
Arizona State. That's where I'm going. Hopefully be on another show. And more shows, actually, more than just one, maybe 2 shows. Maybe I'll be watching this stuff in the future and being like, you know what? I've learned off so much stuff that I've done. And as for Mickey.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a great experience for me personally because I was able to learn so much and learn how to, how to work together with him and to make a show.
It's good for your resume. It's good for our resume, and I like doing this. I love talking and giving my opinions. I like talking about how much the Knicks never deserved to even be in the playoffs and how the Celtics deserve to go all the way to the finals. And I love talking about how the Dodgers do so well in this season, then when it comes to playoff time, they lose it. I love getting my opinion out. I love expressing. I love being on film. I just love it. And I'm very fortunate to have someone like Mickey, who is the complete opposite of me when it comes to sports, debate with me on this.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I think we also learned a lot and were able to do a lot. Like, you had solo shows, I did one solo show, we had shows together. I mean, we did the show in a lot of different ways.
You've got to learn how to be compatible in different ways, you know?
Yeah.
So I just feel like, overall, I'm going to miss it, So, with that being said, this is going to be the final goodbye, and hopefully you'll see me anywhere else on the TV, whether it's on TV, a local station, anywhere. I will hopefully be back on here again, but maybe in another state. So, with that being said, it's been fun. It's been fun, man.
It's been fun.
It's been fun, man. With that being said, my name is Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
Thank you guys for watching the final Sports Grind, Season 4, Episode 17. And yeah,